Hello and welcome to another episode of Nostalgia Pile. My name is Jordan. You can follow me on Twitch at Kitsukatu, and you can see me on various klidge related things. Klidge?
Hi everybody, good morning, afternoon, evening, how's it going? I am, y'all know me, y'all hopefully love me. I'm Klidge Radio, twitch.tv/Klidge Radio. How's it going? Hopefully y'all are doing well. How you doing, fellas?
Pretty good. Cameron, Bright-Eyed Anarchist, everywhere else. It's very much
Yeah.
pretty simple.
Yes. Man, we did it. We actually stayed on target this time. We did it. We watched a 20, it was 26 episodes, but 3 of them were recaps.
Yeah,
so
which I didn't
that
watch.
helped. That did help. I didn't watch the recaps either. There's no point when you're watching it back to back to back to back like that. But we stayed on schedule. We're back 2 weeks later, and I think some of us have thoughts on 86. And you guys probably have thoughts too, because apparently, I beg to differ. This is like people's like favorite, like one of the, they compare it to some of the best like shit ever. But I'll go first because it was mine. You know, I'll go first.
Plot summary. Well, what is
Plot
first of all,
summary.
let's introduce. What
Yeah.
did we watch? We watched 86, or as I was yelled at,
Yes.
just calling it 86.
I think you can just call it 86. It's kind of cool to say. I mean, like, I thought it was like, oh, there's 86, but no, it's just a way to spell it out, which I thought was funny. But I will start by saying 86 is a action drama sci-fi. It's mostly basically a mecha anime with a little bit of war drama going on, and we find ourselves at the height of, I guess, world annihilation. Humanity is on the brink of destruction, and our story starts with a major in the, what are they called? The Republic's military, who is put in charge of a squadron that is on the front lines of this humanity annihilation threat, that are being used as cannon fodder, essentially, in an effort to basically keep the threat at bay. But obviously, we don't stay there. Lots of shit happens, and it happens slow but fast, all at the same time. And to be honest, I'll say it. I'll start. That's the summary. It is a mess. It's a mess. Don't get me wrong. It's a mess. Despite that, I enjoyed myself. I'll say it. I enjoyed myself. There are a litany of writing issues here, and honestly, that is its weakest point. But when you're trying to, when you're also being adapted from a light novel, which I did not know, when you're being adapted from a light novel, I got some. I have a couple of things that I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Despite that, I did say I enjoyed myself. I'll start with some of the highest notes. First off, the soundtrack bangs. I think we can all agree the soundtrack is just fucking
Yeah, the soundtrack
amazing.
goes pretty hard.
Yeah.
Soundtrack is pretty good.
He came out swinging on this one, as he always does. Attack on Titan, Kill la Kill. Those are just the ones on top of my head that he's done. Just good shit all the way around. He also did Premiere. That's true. He did Premiere.
Can I say something about the music, though? The music is amazing. They use it at really inappropriate times.
The only time they use it well, the only time I feel like they use it like really well is when the
it's in the
vocalist.
combat.
is when the vocalists come in, and then I'm like, oh, this is a big moment. So it's a big moment when that starts happening. So,
right,
yeah,
it's the music is really good, but they'll drop it like right after a really, really like. There will be a scene where two characters are discussing like morality or something like that, saying the most dumb basic shit on the planet, and then it drops the music as if this is some like revelation for a new generation, and you're just like,
yeah, and the message is just racism bad.
Essentially.
Yeah, I would say that the second season is a lot more, I guess, less focused on that part, which I did appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
The first season is just telling you everything that is wrong. And like, obviously, you would have no literacy to see what they're doing. I mean, they're just saying it out loud at this point.
Yeah, well,
and
I did have like a thought when I was like starting it, especially with season 1, where I did think it was a very interesting choice to not so subtly basically draw a parallel between the Republic and Nazis.
Yeah, I was sitting there just like, okay.
Because they're all pale white with white hair, and if you're not, you are subhuman.
And they're basically doing fascism. I mean, they're essentially military fascism.
And then they're like, if you survive for 6 years, we'll let you in. But the day before your 6 years, you're going to get just happen to go on a 0% success rate mission.
Yeah.
Wonder why that is.
Which is fucking insane. Yeah. There are so many like drops in this show where I was just like, what the fuck? But anyway, let me get back on track. The music is definitely a high note. I do think no, you're good. No. This is what it's about. I do think that the sci-fi elements are like very fucking interesting. The setting is very cool. The world that we're placed into is full of like, okay, well, I would like to, instead of you doing this right here, I would like to know more about what's happening here in various places. The sci-fi elements are good. I think some of the characters are pretty strong. I don't think all of them are. I think some of them just serve to elevate our main character. Also, the only probably good writing that this show has is like some of the switch ups on who you thought what the main character was and who it actually is, which I was like kind of like, oh, okay, that is different. It's interesting. It's still not like executed perfectly, but I was like, okay, you have my interest still.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, again, the weakest parts are the writing and just some of like, just some of the ways they choose to, the exposition and explaining of like those sci-fi elements aren't always cohesive, I feel like.
No, and they can be very heavy-handed while also making zero sense.
Yes. And then you're kind of like, I wish that they focused more on these parts. Like they were pulled in too many, I felt like a lot of directions. While there are like very good parts of it, I'm just like, okay, what is happening with this little girl? She just kind of showed up and then she just said, I am the one who started all this. And I'm like,
yeah, you're
what?
Like,
I was like, okay.
They hinted that at the fucking... Sure. Okay, so this show does something that really pisses me off in writing. Hi, Klidge Radio English teacher. So they will leave one small, subtle nugget of information in an episode and then revisit it later on. Now, you can do that in a way where that's like actually meaningful, but when you do it with every character, it feels stupid. Like it just becomes just like, okay, well now we already know what's going to happen with this. So like in the episode, it's either the season finale or episode 13, the old man, like they refer to the little fucking gaki as Your Highness. So it's just like, okay, there's very clearly like there's some importance with this little fucking shithead. What is it going to be? And then, well, there's your drop. Like, okay, cool. Get great build up for all of this. Just like, hey, by the way, king of everything here.
Yeah, they do a lot of that. Like they're foreshadowing. While I think they I think they believe it's clever. I just kind of was like,
no,
I believe the show
there's
thinks
just
it's
like there's
very,
something
very
to be desired.
and that pisses me off.
Yeah. I think that they want it to be, it is trying very hard to be serious while they really don't have to. It's just so, it's sad because I really like this show, but I see all the flaws that it has. It works well for like I told the guys, like, I'm playing Lancer right now, which is just like a mecha RPG where you pilot a mech and you are a pilot and you're always in that kind of situation. And it felt like very like
Shout out to Armored Core.
Convoluted Ace Combat, Armored Core, fucking Metal Gear. Like, what in the fuck is happening? Like, there's a storyline and you can kind of follow it, but it was like, there's not a lot of people explaining a lot of things. And while sometimes that is cool in those mediums and like how we engage with entertainment and want to be pulled in, I feel like there's a disconnect when you cannot make it cohesive between all the great elements that you have, which is your characters, your fucking, your setting, the elements that like in, you have the bones of something good and you're like, I think I'm going to just break all of the bones and leave some to work. So all in all, I had a great time. Hold on, let me just say this. I had a great time, but I'm not here to ride or die for 86. I can understand why people like it, but I also am not going to be like, this is the pinnacle of fucking greatness in writing. So, but that is my opinion. I will pass it over to you now, Klidge.
I thought it was stupid.
Say that again. Okay. Say that again. You got cut out.
Oh, I said I thought it was stupid. It really is. It's a frustrating thing to watch. So, it's very, 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 very much trying to be a character-driven story. It wants you to be invested in its characters. That way, when they kill them off, you feel something for them. And does fuck all to build up any of that. So, what's his name? Fucking Shin? Like, he's not like a non-character. He's very, very generic, depressed mecha boy. Like, he's every, like, mecha protagonist, minus, like, the indomitable human spirit, which is why people like mecha protagonists.
Shin pissed me off for the majority of the show, and I don't think I liked him until, like, the last 2 episodes, and then by then it was too late. Also, remind me about the last 2 episodes. I have an interesting tidbit to share that is kind of, it's kind of sad, but it's also kind of, like, endearing. But go ahead.
Sure. Lena, who's your other main character in quotes, is a failure of writing. Like, she is a key example of a character that you never are supposed to write. So let's start with my favorite scene in the entire show. It's in episode 2, where they're in a literal lecture hall, and there's an old fuck giving a lecture about, here's the history of the world. All of the 86 are lesser than, and we went and had them sent to the camps to go fight for the people, and that's okay because they're like 85% pig or some bullshit like this. And then she shows up in a lecture hall and expounds like she's Jesus Christ, the truth of the universe, to these students, and then corrects them when they question her, immediately setting her up as this like angelic figure who thinks that she knows everything about everything. And you're supposed to immediately be like, oh, she's the good guy. She's trying to get the message out there and spread the word. She's a nice person. And it's just like, this is not how you do exposition. This is not how you do exposition. This is not how you build a character to be likable. This is not how you like make a character to be like anything. And then the counter argument you can have to that is like, well, she doesn't actually know everything. She thinks that she knows everything, and that's true. But it doesn't matter. You're building her up to be a whore, like just this. You're trying so desperately to make her out to be like this, like almost vigilante-esque character who is going to be the savior, like a fucking god complex person for these 86 people. And it's just like, well, she's just such a nothing bit of a character. And then the other thing with her that pissed me off was also in season 1 was when the fucking, what they call it, Spearhead Squad survives their impossible mission and then go out on their own. And then she breaks down crying, not because she's happy that they're gone, but because she no longer has them. Like, it feels really kind of fucked up. Like, in this scenario where it's like, okay, they're leaving and she's crying, and you think that she's crying because it's just like, oh, she's losing her friends, but it can be read also as just like, well, she's lost the things that she has control of, because she's still, the entire time she's controlling these people, she's still treating them as an oppressor because she is one. She's still treating them lesser than, despite how she's trying to treat these people. And then afterwards, like, they're all leaving and she's breaking down crying. Yeah, sure, okay, it's her friends, these people who she's bonded with. But it feels much more like she's just like, I don't have control of these people anymore. I'm never going to see them again. Mm-hmm. Fuck me. I don't know. I have very, very few good things to say about this show.
I would disagree with you there on Lena. I don't think that she was like... I don't think she was written as like. Well, no, hold on. I do think that the entirety of season 1 is, again, this is still not good writing, but I do think the entirety of season 1 is to develop Lena into what she becomes in season 2, which is much less, the angelic figure. But they still do this shit so on the nose. It's like so obvious what they're trying to do. I feel like sometimes
it's so bad.
I think that Lena,
like, the subtlety is non-existent.
Yeah, I think she was just mishandled in season 1, like especially with that scene. Like, and again, they're adapting this from a light novel. So whoever wrote this, take notes. All right, if you're listening, I don't think that they had, and I obviously have a different view on this. Is that, like, oppressors that feel as though like they can, she has the white savior complex it's kind of funny because she's literally like all of her features are white.
Yeah, no, but I guess,
white hair and white, yeah, like she is supposed to be that, and then she, through her relationship with the 86, she learns that, oh, I will never be accepted, and she has to come to terms with that. It's still very like, the way they frame it is still very apologetic to Lena. I was like, oh, she's a nice person. And I'm like, and they said she's a nice person, but I was like, yeah, bro, welcome to the fucking real world. Like, to me, watching this shit, I was just like, I mean, yeah, some people are just not getting this shit. So if you have to be bam with it, fine, okay. But again,
I think the show like
you're trying to write a story that seriously.
Right. It's this show. If it had any self-awareness, it would be much better, but it doesn't. It thinks that it's actually expounding on these, like, no one's ever talked about racism before, and we got to make sure that people understand it. All right? I know that, like, there's, like, Gundam has existed for ages. And all of these other amazing bits of media in Japanese media that talk about, like, about everything wrong with racism, but this is the first one, and I'm aware of this. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows about it, and we're going to push it as hard as we can in your face, to the point where we make the comment that if your skin tone is different, literally in the subtitles, if your skin tone is different, you are not allowed to be here.
Yep.
Yo, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. When I heard the words, okay, I'm not going to fucking lie. When I heard the words filthy colored, my fucking brain went, whoa, bro. I said, okay, and for context, if you have not watched this show, go watch it right now. Just stop watching this. But they fucking, all of the Alba. So the first season is centered in like, the Republic, where we are seeing the oppression happen, right? The capital. So they are using these people, and there's a big, wide fucking world out there, which is way more interesting than the new Fourth Reich or whatever that's happening here. You're
gonna be in Squidward's fucking Chrome world. That's what it looks like.
And crazy enough, fucking the 86 are being experimented on and discriminated against. I mean, it's literally one to like there's no fucking it's
like
blatant as fuck.
I said,
it's no like nuance to it.
It's just Nazis.
So they have colored hair in the show, and they call them filthy colors. And I was like, okay, well, immediately I was like, damn, all right, well, I'm a fan of anybody who aren't these guys. Which is just
why did your
absurd,
dog come
man.
to you when you said that word? Why'd your dog come to you when you said that?
Don't worry about that.
The moment you said filthy colored, your dog came. What are you teaching him?
No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
You ain't teaching him anything. That's the problem.
I'm sorry to interrupt. That shit just fucked me up because I was like, okay, they're not playing with us no more.
It's just
oh my
it's
god.
So like when we were talking about this before, you made the comment, it's okay to say the quiet part out loud, but like
it is completely fine. But holy
and not
shit.
everything needs to be like not everything needs to be cryptic or subtle, which is not something I don't want people to think is what I think. But if you watch this show, it's just bad writing. I don't know how to deliver this message any other way than to slap you in the face with it because I can't like fathom writing it as like a background thing. Like, hey, maybe there's like anti-86 propaganda around the streets for the viewer to see or something like that, or maybe there's more that you can do with this as opposed to just being like filth. This color of your skin is why you're a bad person.
They don't know how to world build. There's no genuine world building for the themes. Every theme in the show is delivered to you via fucking exposition dump.
Yeah, I think
yes, which is infuriating.
There's just moments where they have, like, if they're not talking about like war politics or fucking like the goddamn Legion, I'm like, okay, this exposition dump about like the current like state of the world is unnecessary because it's very clear like what's I mean, like,
we have eyeballs,
and I kept trying to, and I'll just be honest with you guys, I kept trying to like separate like obviously my own biases with this show because I have to live in a world that's kind of like that, like I have not like I'm being sent off to war to be killed, but I'm like I have to look at this shit every day, so I see it and I go, well, maybe somebody fucking watches this and is like, oh, okay, cool. But also, I just felt as though there is like a disconnect between like respecting the intelligence of your viewers sometimes, or like the
yes,
average
that's a big
viewer.
issue.
Sometimes the average
they treat
viewer
you like a
is
fucking
like
child,
not this person. Yeah, so while there are like big, like there are good moments, but they are far outweighed by like this is not cohesive and this is not conducive to the story.
I think that if you're grasping at good moments in a 26 episode show, if you're like grasping at moments that are good in that speaks volumes for the quality of what the actual show is.
Mm-hmm.
And I
think the best, again, I think the best parts of this are, I think some of the characters, well, most of the 86 I like. I didn't really hate anybody except maybe, what's her fucking name? Karina?
I don't fucking.
Karina
I literally
can
could
get the
not
fuck
tell
out
you.
here. She's the red-haired girl. I just didn't like her. I thought Raiden Suga, I thought he was a good character in comparison to Shine's like sad ass.
This show is at its best when it's focusing on those characters doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that, and like
then,
the action scenes are, for me, all it has going for it. And I didn't even really give a fuck about any of the characters.
This is absurd, though. There is just...
Well, why should you? The show does nothing to make you care about any of them. Like, it does damn little aside from the most basic, just like, his brother died and his head's in a robot.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was
Feel
so
bad
cool.
for him.
I was like, oh, fuck.
He's prejudiced against.
Okay, but if we're going to talk about, like, the Legion, we have to talk about Shine and all of his, like, fucking, like, still on the nose, but depictions and conversations around trauma and almost like survive or just guilt in general. I thought there were moments where I was like, dang, dude, I never thought about it that way. Then again, I'm not on, death row about to go to war and try to die. I'm not that depressed. I'm not feeling that hopeless. But I thought there were some moments in there. Again, the best. This is both a praise and a. This is both praise and a roast. The fucking best episodes are like the last like 3, I think, which is like something to say. Where they're focusing on like Shine, and Shine is a whole fucking can of worms that you could try to get into. It would take forever to, I feel like, really dive into all of the shit they were trying to do with him. Like the best parts of him not being broody is him like talking about how sad he is, where he's like, "Oh, I don't know why I'm sad," but you don't really know until like the very end, so it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I would say for me, he's probably the only somewhat interesting character, and it's just not even him that's interesting to me. It's how he grapples with and deals with his survival guilt, and that's really about it. And you hit the peak of that in the last fucking 3 episodes. Yeah,
those last 3 episodes are like the best episodes in my opinion, because it wasn't really we got some good like closure on some of those fights. That last fight I was like, oh hell, okay, cool. But really just kind of figuring out what the fuck is going on with Shine, I was like, oh okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah, Shin was fine. I also didn't like that they were like, here's this cast of pilots, here's all of them interacting with each other, we're going to give you some exposition and some character building on about 4 or 5 of them, and then we're going to have one episode where nothing really happens and you're kind of just waiting for everybody else to get their limelight, and then they all fucking die. And it's like, okay, well,
yeah,
I don't feel anything about this because I didn't know anything about these characters. You didn't give me anything to latch on to for the ones that you killed off.
Yeah, I don't know if they were even trying to get to that. I think they were trying to make you care about like the situation they were in, maybe more so than the characters, but it wasn't very clear because I was like, oh, we're going to watch all these people die over the course of 23 episodes. Yeah. And then like you just watch you watch most of them die and you get to like the main 5, and then like there's, I don't know.
They don't develop the ones that they kill, and that's like a problem. Yeah. Why should I care? Yeah. Just because Shin's sad? Shin's always sad. What's the fucking difference?
Then they don't. So and then they don't fucking. I'm sorry. I just gotta say this. They do all of that character building, and they have all of these interconnected relationships with like the five main people, right? And then, almost insanely enough, there's only like one good episode where, I mean, maybe there's a few good episodes where those 5 have a decent interaction and you're supposed to care about the rest of them. But really, they don't give them enough like exposition. I still don't know what the fuck is on the Ice Queen's back. Like I was like, I can assume it's something bad, but that would have been a cool like angle to explore. Like, why didn't we get a backstory for each of them? I don't know. Why did we not get a...
You're supposed to assume that she was branded.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there like, I want to know
if they took half of the time.
How?
If they took half the time they spent focusing on Lena. No, just take half the time they spent on Lena, get rid of it because most of it is nonsense and worthless, and use that to develop the other characters. That would have been like a 1,000,000% more interesting show. Even the character, I mean, it feels like the author's just like, well, I'm going to kill these characters anyway, so why do I have to bother with this? Like, for a lot of them, it's just like, well, who cares? Like, there's in season 1 when you have all of these characters together, like after the fireworks thing and after, what's his name? Not Daya, but It's after Daya dies, but after a bunch. There's like 8 people left. And there's like a glasses kid. There's a guy who just like looks like every generic person. And then there's a third guy, and they name themselves, and then they just kill them all. Yeah, they just kill them all off screen. And you're just like, well,
I'm sitting there like, I was sitting there like, so we just not gonna see what happened to them? Okay. Yeah. I was kind of upset.
My name is Hajime no Ippo, and I'm going to go die now.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. It's just like. It feels like such a waste. So does anybody have
when everyone else is much more interesting?
I have to ask, Cam, we kind of like didn't like give you your limelight. Would you like? Is there anything burning that you would like to state?
Not particularly. It's just like the mech stuff's fun. All right, the mech fights are fun. The characters are kind of boring. Any character that you would have like an inkling where you're like, oh, I want to learn about this character. Either you never get that or they die, right?
Yeah, you if you do not like Shine or Milize, you may not like any other characters because they try to give them their moments. They try to give every character their moment, and that fucking sucks because
it never lands.
I think about like it sucks because I think about like again, I gotta compare this to Peak. I compare this shit to like Gurren, right? Mm-hmm. Which is vastly different in tone but still tries to get some of the concepts of like death and regret, or, guilt and shit like that. There are side characters that have more character and more of like I cared for more when they died than I ever did when any of those guys died, and they still had less screen time than all these characters combined.
Yeah, I mean,
like you want to know more about them, but you never get to actually do that, and it's just a missed opportunity.
It's like that's my thing. Is just like characters, meh, action pretty good, music good when it's used right, the animation's gorgeous.
It's actually
like it is a very well animated show, but it does not bring enough to the table for this to be so highly regarded. And I do not get it. There's so many good Gundam shows.
Confused.
Like you said, there's Gurren Lagann. There's Evangelion.
Yeah, can't wait to watch that. Let's go.
There's there's so many good mech shows out there. Why is this the one that people have clung to nowadays? What I want to know, like, what?
So I have an answer for you.
Here.
I actually have an answer for you because Deja and I watched this with Camp's fiance, and it was she'd seen the first season before. I had not seen any of it, and and she's very critical of my anime choices because I tend to be fairly negative with media. Mm-hmm. This podcast has been an anomaly where we've watched like exclusively good things. Everything that we've watched has been like a 7 or above. I looked at my anime list and like, damn man, we really like this stuff, huh? And she, who had seen it and liked it before, rewatched it and was just like, oh, I still kind of like it, but oh. And we were like, I wonder why that is. And we looked it up. It was spring of 2020 when this aired.
Oh, yeah.
Now, chat, YouTube comments, what happened in the spring of 2020? That's right, we were fucking smack in the middle of a pandemic with nothing left to do. And so to occupy your time, and so that meant anime production was already kind of like on the down low for a lot of things, as well as people having a lot of time to do. So more eyes were on this show, and there was less competition for it. The only thing that was airing, I remember looking it up. Let me just check this out. Spring 2020 anime season. The only thing that was airing, if I'm remembering right, that was at all like set for people who want to watch something more actiony was Tokyo Revengers. That was the only thing it was up against. Because the other things that were airing were like Kaguya-sama. Who's going to watch Kaguya-sama? Not most people who were like watching anime. You're not most people who watch anime. Neither am I.
That's true.
Let me take a look. Was it spring 2020? Let me double check.
It was 2021. I believe it was at least part 2.
Okay.
Part 2 is 2021.
That was part 2.
I mean, it was still in the middle of a pandemic, so people were just latching on to stuff that they could just watch.
Yeah, like
Let's be real.
what kills me is part 2 is the second highest rated mecha
BNA.
on my anime
this
list.
Shit is, hold on, this fucking shit is high. I still think it's way too high, and it is ranked.
It's bad. It's not. It is not good.
Animes.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it is not.
I'm just gonna say it is not good. It's not a good anime. It's not. It's nothing. It's fucking nothing. It's such a generic, it's generic slop for a lack of a better word. It's just we're gonna pump this out, and people are going to watch it.
Yeah, like I said, if you go to my anime
here's
list,
what his competition was. Oh, sorry. Here's what his competition was. It was Tokyo Revengers, which people really latched onto and really liked. It was My Hero Academia. Fumetsu... Oh, that's 2 Year Eternity. 2 Year Eternity on its release, fucking nobody watched it. It was after the second season came out for it that people were like, hold on. Nagatoro. That's not for everybody. A lot of people don't like that. Then it's 86. Another generic isekai. One that is currently above it in rating is Odd Taxi, which a lot of people really like Odd Taxi, but that's more niche. I was reincarnated as a witch, and I've spent the last 300 years killing slimes. Goated anime, by the way. But it's not for everybody. It's fucking slice of life garbage. I liked it, but that's because I'm a loser. Fucking the new hit fucking shonen thing, Iruma at Demon School. Also a good one. Not for everybody. Like, the things that it was going up against, it had no competition outside of Tokyo Revengers, which is also really not for everybody because of, the content matter. And so what people do is they gravitate towards the one thing that they know people are going to watch that's action-y, that isn't fucking My Hero. And so they all diverge towards 86.
Guys. Holy shit! I'm not gonna fucking. These people are insane. The season. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cam. This shit is fucking my brain up. Yo, this anime. So season 1, I said it was top 300. So it was ranked 268. Season 1, motherfucker. Fucking 86. Season 2, which is arguably the better season, but not by much, is fucking ranked 56.
Yeah. So if you go. If you go into the mecha tab, go to the mecha tab.
Worth it.
And it is
the mecha tab.
If you go to mecha, sort by score.
In my anime list, okay.
Code Geass, one of the seasons, is number 1. 86 Part 2 is number 2. So that means 86 Part 2 is above everything else. Code Geass,
above Gurren and other Gundams.
It's above Evangelion. It's above fucking everything. Ghost in the Shell. All the Gundams. It is apparently better than every single Gundam.
Y'all, hold on. Okay, look, guys, if you're listening, listen.
Look, Cooley is a fucking mental mess. But yeah,
it's much better than this.
Listen to me, guys. If you are out there and you saw that we reviewed your favorite anime, I need to tell you something. This shit is not that good, okay? I'm being one of the people who's like, I like shit like this. I love shit like this, okay? And I still am like, this story is blah. The characters, okay. Mecha, good, all right? Shit like this is good when you can turn your brain off and not look for flaws, okay? This is not fucking Gurren, dude. Mm-hmm. This is not Fooly. I haven't watched Evangelion, and I know Evangelion is going to be 10 times better than this. And Code Geass is very close to some of the best shit I've ever seen, okay? Y'all are fucking joking yourselves. You are coping. You are smoking on that hopium. And I'm the most hopium dude here, okay? I'm telling you right now.
This is your suggestion.
I'm telling you right now. This is my suggestion because I was like interested in it because I was like, oh, I like mecha war drama. Okay, let's fucking go. I mean, there are just so many missed opportunities. If you have not watched a fucking war drama like this, just watch Code Geass and compare to this, and then tell me that it's not as good or it is good. I can't. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
People are crazy.
I don't know. Like, if you want a really good war drama, sci-fi, thriller.
And you haven't seen one, and I mean,
go watch Ghost in the Shell.
This is one you haven't seen.
Go watch Ghost in the Shell.
Go watch Ghost in the Shell.
I was gonna say, go watch Ghost in the Shell is amazing. It's so good.
A million times better.
Yeah. We must be hurting, bro, because you know what? You know what? I'm gonna say this. I
am so excited for the comments on this video.
No, yeah, I'll give people the benefit of the doubt
I'm
because
not apologizing.
in the mecha genre, we are bleeding.
Yeah, we're starved.
Bleeding out.
There is not enough.
We're starved. So when you get something and you're like, holy
you have Gundam.
Fucking shit,
That's what you get.
I haven't seen this in forever. Just take a minute, go back, watch some of the oldies. You have not watched any of the old Gundams, obviously. If you just took 86 because you needed something that was animated, like it was animated well, the mechs are great, it's a fucking beautiful show. There are themes that nobody talks about in this show, but I almost said it. But motherfucker, you have not seen shit yet.
Go watch Eureka 7
shit yet. Holy shit.
Go watch Eureka 7.
Go watch something else, guys.
Anything else?
I'm gonna have to.
I don't even watch mech that often. And I'm just like,
dude, I like this show. It is not as good as you think it is.
It's not.
No, this is literally okay. This, I'm just gonna call this the Genshin Impact effect. Baby's first mecha anime. This is my very first gotcha. This is my very first mecha anime, and I'm never going to experiment with anything else in the genre because clearly this is peak. I don't ever need to go look at anything else. I'm just gonna call out Genshin fans because I know your dumbasses all do the same shit. Like, it's my first gotcha. I'm just gonna invest everything into this and obsess over this, and I'm never going to rank anything else. I'm never going to experiment with anything else because I don't need to, because this is number 2. And if I could, I would push it to number 1. Code Geass, this garbage. It's not 86. Code Geass has fucking subtlety in it.
Wait, there's a Code Geass airing right now?
Yes.
Are you fucking joking?
Rose of the Recapture.
No, not a actual Code Geass, but what the fuck? There's a no Code Geass?
Airing right now.
There's a new Code. You didn't know that? Go watch that. Don't watch 86. Go watch new Code.
Is it?
You tell me, bitch. You fucking recommended this.
Motherfucker, I didn't know that shit was coming out. Yo, we about to go. Hey, yo, hold up, everybody.
Season 2 of the podcast gonna go hard as fuck.
Yo, we're okay. I know we're gonna supposed to diversify like our choices. This is fucking on it. Sorry, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I brought. Yeah, so hey, audience.
Okay.
Hey, audience. I called us all out because we're all guilty of this. That we, like, the primary thing that we've watched this season was sci-fi drama. Like, all of the things that we watched were sci-fi dramas.
Yeah, bro.
And like, well, I approached them as like, I think we need to like add some new life into the podcast. But
there was also a Eureka 7 movie the year 86 Part 2 came out.
Maybe we aren't. Maybe we aren't fucking starved.
People don't care.
I felt like we were. Yeah, like I agree with you, Klidge. Okay. If this is like your first time watching something like this, definitely like, yeah, sure, this is a great like starting point. This is a great jumping off point if you want to like get into. I mean, it's not a great jumping off point.
It's a mecha anime with training wheels.
To, like, watch, yeah, like there's other great shit to watch that I think is more palatable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you are like, oh, I want a mecha with no fan service, okay, sure, watch this one.
There's except they tried to do that. They try to force a weird ass romance for it. Like, why is Lena and Shin like that whole like thing they're trying to do? It makes no fucking sense.
That was making me I was kind of a little uncomfortable when they were
just
about
like,
to like,
what the fuck?
Like,
hey, I'm not going to give you the no fan service thing. That's so like, that's just like, it's a horror light novel. We have to have something sexy. Like,
I mean, but it wasn't really. I don't know. I wouldn't say it was. I was still like, oh, please don't make this romance happen. I was like, please don't make it happen.
Right.
But who knows? I don't know what the light novel's got going on. I don't know what the
You know what? I'll say this. I think the light novel probably goes hard as fuck. I have the sneaking suspicion that the anime adaptation did not adapt the writing of the light novel well. I just have a feeling because this show has the frameworks of greatness. I can see what it's trying to do, but it almost feels like maybe because of the pandemic they had less time to do shit, and so they just like we're gonna have to make it really blunt about everything. So I don't know. I've not read the light novel. I would believe that the light novel would be better.
There's 11 volumes of it. Oh, is it still in print?
It's still probably airing. Probably.
No, I think it's done. I think it's wrapped up. So 11 novels.
So can I make everybody mad? Am I able to get us to lose any potential audience that we have?
Oh no!
And forever brand myself.
Do not say the word, man.
I'm gonna say it. It starts with an N.
Oh no! Nuclear?
I said I was gonna bring this up on the. No, we're talking about Nikkei.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no.
What you were gonna say.
So, the plot of 86 and the plot of the video game that you might know as the game where anime girls' asses jiggle when they shoot their gun, Nikkei, Goddess of Victory, Nikkei.
I call
these
it
two
the
stories
booty shooter.
have the exact same
booty shooter.
The booty shooty, yeah. They have the exact same plot. The difference is that Nikkei actually does it better. If you actually read the plot of Nikkei, which to some people is just like, why would you do that? It's like, it's actually...
I don't read it, but I understand what people do. There's a reason I'm playing that game, and it's not to read the plot.
Guys,
and you're just like most people.
Fingers crossed we get the Nikkei ad read. Let's fucking go.
Come on,
Fingers
Nikkei.
crossed.
Come on, man.
Nikkei, if you sponsor me, I will shill you to the ends of the earth. I genuinely believe that it is the best gacha game on the market. Yeah, it's genuinely the best gacha game on the market, and that's coming from somebody who's built his entire YouTube presence on Fate Grand Order. So let me just break down the plot,
guys.
Because a lot of people just hear Nikkei.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
My sister is about to walk in. My dogs are gonna go nuts. Okay.
Go ahead and just mute.
All right.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back in just a second. But yeah, you can keep going, and hopefully your ranting lasts till I get back.
I've got a lot to say. Don't worry. So let me lock in on this. All right. So a lot of people just dismiss Nikkei and its lore because of what the content is. You're playing anime girls' asses jiggle. But you go and you read... If you're a fucking weirdo like me and you actually go and read the plot of the game, here's the plot of 86 broken down simply. Let's start with 86. Plot of 86 is that an at first unknown giant mechanical threat wipes out most of civilization. And to combat it, they put people into mechs to go and fight off this threat as humanity gets holed into a place where they are fighting from, where people are generally safe and unaware of the true horrors of what's going on the battlefields. And the people who are put into the mechs are the people viewed as lesser thans. And the entire plot revolves around discovering the truth behind the matter, and eventually even discovering an entire country of people who are living where people are more free. They have more freedom and rights. The plot of Nikkei is that a giant mechanical threat comes down from the sky, wipes out most of humanity, and they put people who are treated as lesser than, i.e. females, and they transform them into robots who are able to fight against the giant threat. It still destroys most of humanity, and they get holed up in a place underground in a secret country where the people are completely unaware of what's going on the battlefield for the most part, and they don't really care about the what happens to the Nikkei because they're lesser than. And then you spend the entire game essentially treating them like normal people, treating them like humans, and learning their backstories and learning like what the actual like plot and everything is going around in the real world, like how corrupt everything actually is. And then in Nikke, you finally discover that there is a country, it's more like a fucking like city, but whatever, where people in Nikke are living together, and the Nikke have more freedom than the people do. So the difference is that where 86 does absolutely nothing to develop its characters in any way, to a point where you're just like, I don't give a fuck about any of these people. I really don't. Here's your two people that you should give any fucking shits about. Here's your generic girl with the white hair who could look like any girl from any isekai ever, and your generic anime protagonist with black hair who looks like every fucking protagonist from everything except he's got a scarf. That's how you know he's got that fucking what's his name? Yeah, no, 86 does nothing to develop its male lead or its female lead, and damn little to develop its side cast. Nikke, on the other hand, like, you learn, like, the main lead himself is just, like, generic. It's every gacha protagonist. Like, oh, I'm morally good for the most part, whatever. But then, like, you learn about the characters and, like, all the fucked up shit that they're going through. Like, you find out, oh, some of the times these people are forced to become the Nikke. Some of the times they willingly do it. Sometimes they're in accidents that, like, force them to become it, and then they try to hide it from people. And, like, it deals with the same beats that 86 does of just, like, being prejudiced against and, like, all of that shit. Except that it does a really good job of being, like, actually showing it in a way that's just, like, damn.
Yeah.
And then it also handles, I don't know, the mech aspect of it. Like, they even hit on the beat that's, like, if you die on the battlefield, then they'll take your head and they'll turn you into one of them. That's a huge plot point in Nikke where the Nikke themselves can become, like, essentially just, like, brainwashed. They fucking turn on their friends, and then in a pretty recent event, they talk about how, well, you know, when that actually happens, what happens is that the Nikke themselves stay fully aware, but they just essentially, they get put into the, what is it called? What was that movie? Peel, the Brain Palace, the old white men becoming black men. What is the fucking name of that movie?
Oh, Get Out.
Get Out. Essentially, you get put into the Get Out room where you can see all the shit that's happening, but you can do nothing about it. You're stuck in that purgatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, that's a really, really cool thing. It builds on it's the same concept as fucking as 86, but done better. I don't know. I'm just like,
I mean, like,
someone
like
out there is going to call me.
There's so many other options.
Yeah. I don't know. People, I get. I'm going to be called a fucking gooner for that shit, for that take. But, like, if you've played Nikke and you've actually read the story, I agree with you. Yeah, it's.
I was just say, like, what I have read of the story, it's like you're spot on. It is just 86, but better.
Hey, welcome
down
back.
To so many of, like, the little minute details. It's just 86, but better, more interesting.
Yeah, it's 86, but they actually decided to give a shit about the characters, which is what 86 needs to do, but they didn't fucking do it. See, I'm sorry, I keep looking over at my second monitor and seeing it have an 8.71. Mind you, it's 8.71 with 500,000 people who voted on it. In between, Code Geass, two things of Code Geass, which have 1.8 million and 2.3 million. And then it's like there's nobody's watching this shit. I don't know.
This is almost ranked above, like, this is just not. It's not actually like.
Here, let's do this. Let's go to anime. Sort by score. Let's go look at all the things that are not as good as this according to my anime list. Shall we? Let's get mad. Let's get upset.
Well, I'll just tell you right now, Ghost in the Shell is somehow better, or not, somehow worse. The Evangelion movies are somehow worse. Gridman is worse. Okay, this is a fucking crime against nature. Ready? Promare is somehow worse than this.
Yeah.
Promare.
Yep.
Promare. Fucking the Gurren Lagann movies are worse than this. Fucking.
So where is part 2 ranked at? 56.
Overall, yeah.
How do I check overall?
Let's see.
Like the best, like the top.
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin, Bleach is lower.
Fully Cooley alternative.
All anime top.
Jeez.
So right now the top
It's
anime
rated
of all time is
higher than Howl's Moving
which
Castle.
Is totally deserved.
we might just, you know.
It might just be Jover. Because this is apparently better than Mononoke.
That's
Made in Abyss. I mean, even fucking, season 3 of Attack on Titan, the one that everybody fucking adores. It's better than that.
It's better than Death
They
Note,
compare it to
apparently.
Attack on Titan. That's what's crazy is they compare it to Attack on Titan, I think, is the problem. It's like...
Yeah, it's
I would say that it's very, very similar.
Oh my
I just
God,
looked at that and made me upset.
on.
It's better than
This
Edge Runner.
is the
It's better
second
than Hajime
highest...
No Ippo,
It's the second highed rated... The second season is the second highest rated mecha of all time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Like, Gurren
yeah, no, it's Code
That's what I was
Geass
saying.
and then this.
This needs to be review bombed. Just a little bit, baby, man. Oh my
I'll start it.
God. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna.
No, I don't believe in review bombing. I want people to. I want you. If you I have one person in my server who said they're going to come back and they're going to write an entire essay about why I'm wrong about hating the show. And I don't know how to tell them this, but after watching the whole thing, you're fucking wrong. And we're a trio right now of people with vastly different opinions on anime. I like slice of life and cute shit. Jordan likes mecha and sci-fi, and Cam likes psychological and horror. We cover the entire spectrum of anime, and we're all coming together to say this show is mid. I don't know how to tell you this, man. You have the big three of anime typage, and we're all coming together to say, no, this is bad. Does not deserve to be where it's at. It's so absolutely borderline generic and boring that the fact that it's ranked number 56 on my anime list is a fucking crime.
That is just not okay. I just have
That's
to
not
say,
okay.
Yeah, bro. I think, how long have I been watching anime? Fucking, how old am I, guys? 28? I'm 20 years of watching anime. This is not it. I think we need to give our ratings,
this is not
bro.
it.
I think we need to... I give it
a 3. I give it a 3 just for the music. That's me.
Cam?
I can't give it higher than a 4. If it was just season 2 we were talking about, I could manage a 5. Season 1 fucking sucks.
I think season 1...
I don't care that it's building.
Season 1 is fucking terrible. I didn't even get into the whole thing where just like, I didn't even get into the whole thing where I have a policy almost with myself, whereas if the first season is ass, I won't watch the second season. If not for this show, I would have dropped this shit episode 4. The reason I don't like Attack on Titan is because the first season is ass, and then most of the second season also kind of ass, and these motherfuckers like, dude, it gets really good in season 4. I'm like, nah, I value my time. I'm not going to go do that shit. But it's just like, I don't know.
All right. So we got a 3, a 4.
All right, Jordan.
And I'm not like Klidge. Okay, I'm not that. I don't do this. All right, I'm not a negative Nancy. But again, he's valid. I don't think I can give this above a 6. Like, again, I enjoyed myself mostly because I just like bullshit like this. But the only way that I could enjoy it is by looking at it as, okay, they're taking themselves so seriously to the point where it is just bullshit. Like, it is bullshit, right? Again, this is an adaptation. I have no clue how good or mid or bad the light novel is. I may be interested in going and seeing how good or bad it is, just because I'm like, I don't know. It does seem like they did rush a lot. They didn't expound on anything, so I'm gonna have to give this one a 6 just to make sure. I guess it gets like a what? What are we giving it? Like a 4.7 or some shit?
On my anime list, it has to be
4
rounded. It'd have to be... Yeah, that would be a 4.7. But my anime list doesn't let you do points. We have to round it. And I'm not giving this bitch a 5.
I'm not gonna give it a 5.
I wouldn't.
The lower it is, the
thing.
Yeah.
You're right. We shouldn't be giving it a 6 or a 5. I mean, a 5 is very mid. I think this is a little less than that. 4.
I would be okay with a 5.
I think 4 is the most fair.
I felt like there was anything else.
Like it's still
that, like I would have been worse off to watch.
I mean, it's like if I was going to say it gets a 5 because first off, it's beautiful, it's well animated. Oh yeah, there was one tidbit before we fucking wrap it up. I do want to share this, and I thought this was like very fucking like upsetting. Yet I thought it was like okay, that's kind of crazy. So I don't know if y'all watched the dub or not. Did y'all watch the dub?
Sub.
You watched the sub? Okay. You watched the dub? Okay. You notice in the last 2 episodes that fucking Shine's voice actor changes?
I didn't.
You guys didn't notice that?
No.
Well, not in the sub. In the sub, it does not change. In the dub, it does. In the dub, fucking at the very end, like where he sees Milize again, and he's having that conversation with her, those last 2 episodes are voiced by Alex Lee. Up to that point, it was voiced by Billy Kometz. And he was the voice of
I know that name.
He was the voice of Josuke from JoJo. And he's been an account, and he was also the main protagonist of Promare. he was Gallo Thymos. He was Gallo.
Oh yeah.
He died of pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like I know that it's tough when this shit happens. But his health had taken a turn at that point. And I was just like, is his voice changing because he's a new person, or was this like was this intentional or not? And I was just like, oh, that's sad. But I was like, oh, this kind of like, it's kind of, I don't know. It was just a lot. I was just like, this is a very emotional episode or whatever because you're finally seeing Shin smile for the first time and shit, and it's blah blah blah. But I thought that like that. I don't know, just the send off and all that shit. I was just like, that is really sad, but also kind of endearing at the same time. And I was just like, that's fucking, I don't know. I was like, there's our indomitable human spirit,
Yeah.
That was like the moment where I was like, okay, there's a soft spot for shit like that I have when like, a piece of medium can like move somebody. And I was like, this moved me only because something in the real world was happening. So I
don't know if I want to give
really
they give them the credit for it because it wasn't.
But I'm not
done
giving
with
them
intent.
it wasn't.
But it is an interesting. It is an interesting thing.
I wanted to share that. I'm not saying let this influence you. I was like, oh well, I'm never gonna forget this fucking show.
Okay.
For that reason. But
that's valid. That's totally
I just wanted to share that. I mean, if you guys want to give it a 4 or a 5, I'm okay with either of those. You can put in the description when you write it out. Hey, Jordan gave this a 6 because he loves trash like this. So, but there are way better things to go watch, friends. Go watch that shit.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like if you want to just turn your brain off and like look at the pretty colors, sure.
Yeah.
That's all I can recommend it for.
It was also done in that generic ass Yore style, bro. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like the art direction for the characters, but it is what it is.
All right, quickly, Jordan, give them a recommendation that's a good mecha aside from this so they can go watch.
Oh, Gurren Lagann?
All right, you say Gurren Lagann. I say go watch Gundam Witch from Mercury.
No.
Evangelion. Just go watch Evangelion.
There you go.
If you're not gonna watch Gurren Lagann, go watch fucking what's the fucking good one? There was one on Netflix. It was like called there is that one. What the fuck is that? Mashoko or something like that. There's like another one that Netflix.
Go watch Mushoku Tensei. My favorite mecha.
Okay, Mushoku is really good though. Mushoku is really good.
Yeah.
Do y'all have your picks for the next list?
Megaton Musashi? No, not that one.
Our what?
Surely not. No.
Our picks for the next wheel.
Does
everybody have theirs?
I'm not ready yet. I do want everybody to come with those on the Evangelion one because that's how we're going to end the season.
Gotcha. Yeah. So speaking of,
but yeah, go watch fucking Gurren Lagann, guys.
Yeah. Hey, if you somehow missed last episode, first of all, go check that out. But yeah, for those of you, if for some reason this is your first episode and you're like, fuck these guys, you just ruined my favorite anime for me. First of all, not sorry. Second of all, we are going to be talking about. Hold on, what the fuck? Oh my
There's
god!
some in your room.
No, I'll talk about it here after this. What was I gonna say? My brain just shut off. I lost it. Yeah, we are not going to be. Yeah, our next episode is our last one of this quote-unquote season. We're going to be doing fucking Evangelion. We're not doing a wheel right now. That's the last one.
Yeah. Evangelion's next. Get ready for it. Also, the recommendation for you to go watch that is better than this is Kuro Mukuro. It's got some funny, cool shit in it. Samurai in a mech. He time travels and he's in a mech. It's trash, but it is much better than fucking 86.
Yeah. And if you have any strong opinions on this anime, 86, that you would like us to know, let us know down in the comments. Why did you enjoy this? I would love
reach out somewhere.
I would love for, if this will be on YouTube, go check out like the YouTube video to leave a comment. Otherwise, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
We should send it to the Nostalgia Pile email, which is nostalgiapile@gmail.com. Hit us up.
I'm sorry.
Like, send us your hate mail.
Your favorite. I'm sorry if this was your favorite anime. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Genuinely, if this is your favorite anime, I am sorry because you have not explored shit. Like, I don't.
You haven't experienced enough.
Go download a new game that isn't Genshin Impact and watch a new anime that isn't fucking. I'm gonna get so much hate for this shit, but whatever.
Guys,
go watch other things.
I'm gonna make a terrible joke here, but you guys need to find a new answer. Klidge like that. You guys need a new answer, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just go watch anything else. Just
go watch Fooly Cooly.
Go explore more genres. Go explore more creators.
Put your hands onto the grass. Find a new anime to watch. You need it really bad. Yeah, your anime sucks. I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck.
It does. Like I said, just go watch. Go broaden your horizons. Go watch more creators. Don't just watch the hottest of every season and call it good. Please.
Like
please.
I genuinely believe that the vast majority of people who've watched this have not watched anything else that's mecha. And if they have, like, people saying that this is peak mecha, I don't believe you. I feel like you watched it one time and then have done nothing to, like, you've done.
First off, they barely spend any time in the fucking robots. Okay,
right.
Luckily, the sequences are good enough for me to be like satisfied, but I was still like I always wanted more. God damn it, the anime openings are much more interesting than like some of like the actual fights that they have. I was looking at the openings like we're gonna get some like indomitable human spirit for real.
Mm-hmm.
That does not happen in this one. This is not about that.
Go play Armored Core.
Yeah, bro.
Go play Armored Core.
That one's super negative, and it still has human spirit.
Go play Nikkei. Go fucking like. Go like I don't know. Expand your fucking.
I don't know. Go watch fucking like. Watch Real Steel or something. I don't fucking know. Anything else.
Real Steel. Anyway, I think that wraps it up for us. That's some
I don't
good
have
shit.
anything else to say. I'm disappointed, is what I'll say.
Yeah, I've put it into our My Anime list. Our public score is a 4. Bad. No, that's what it is. A 4-star is bad. It goes from appalling, horrible, very bad.
I thought you just wrote. I thought the description said bad.
I should.
Our actual review is just bad.
I should do that and then
do not expound.
Just bad. Watch the podcast. Bad.
You should just put the link to the podcast in there.
I should.
It's just
we need to upload the podcast.
Our 1 hour review.
please go watch anything else.
Yeah, man, you guys will be fine.
Like,
I'm happy if you enjoyed it, but you've only dipped your toe into what
there's
horizons,
so much more out there, man. Like, if this is your number one, really? This is coming from someone who likes garbage. I think Kobayashi Maid Dragon's a 10 out of 10. And I'm saying that your opinion is bad.
Hey, I don't think anybody would disagree if they actually watched fucking Maid Dragon.
I agree with you, but people are like, it's horny. It's horny. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not calling out anyone in particular about this, Natalie, but it's horny, so I don't like it.
That is its only fault, if you want to call it a fault.
It's not even that horny. That's the thing, is Maid Dragon, it has big boobs. That's the extent of the horny.
Yeah, you're right. It's funny. Anyway, I think I might get the light novel and read it and then see and make a decision, because
report back.
Everyone's like, this is my favorite light novel. And again, A1 Pictures is not known for adapting light novels very well. These are the same people who did like fucking Sword Art. We can chalk it up to that, because I mean, like, the people who read this shit, they're like, this is great. This is great. This is great. And I think she does a lot more world building in here. So we'll see.
We'll see. Well, I think that's going to about do it for us. We're way over time for a 24 episode thing.
I'm gonna have to cut this one down extra long.
Yeah.
All right, Evangelion is next though.
A good mech.
2 weeks.
A good
Can
mecha.
we do it in 2 weeks?
Okay, so question.
Answer.
Yes.
Do y'all want to watch the movie as well? That's 86 minutes.
What is the movie's? Is
The
it adding
movie-
to the? It's the final episode.
So it's an alternative take on the final episode.
Yeah. I think this one's going to take me a little
So-
longer too.
so-
So we
Yeah,
might.
most people say to watch the show. Some people like to say don't watch the last 2 episodes, watch the movie, and then watch the last 2 episodes.
Fuck.
But I just say watch the show, watch the movie.
Hey, can we do this in can we do this in a 3 weeks thing? Because I'm going to be out of the prefecture.
Yeah, that's
I was
fine.
thinking the 24th or the 31st.
24.
I mean, it is 26 episodes.
Yeah. I
Alright,
think that would be
I'm
good
going
for
to
me.
go on. I'm going to see my therapist one more time before I have to pay on the 5th, and then I'm going to come back to him on the 19th. A new man.
You need to go be
broken
like
man.
86.
Yeah, after watching Evangelion.
86.
I watched Evangelion, and I
86.
It's the one cat. It's the one kitten grabbing its head and screaming.
man. All right, we'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Peace
Wait,
out,
hold
y'all.
on. Where can we find? Where
Wait,
can
what are
they
you
find
doing?
us? One more
He
time.
always loves to find us on Kitsukatu, twitch.tv/Kitsukatu. Come hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, come.
Anarchy Killjoy at Twitter and Twitch.
Yeah. Send your hate mail directly to me on Twitter at Sventarian on twitter.com. Alternatively, come to my streams and yell at me at Klidge Radio. Or alternatively, if you're watching this on Spotify and not my YouTube channel, youtube.com at Klidge. Come check us out. We do a lot of fun stuff. All right, fellas. I think that's it. Fuck your life. Fuck 86.
I think we're good.
Bye.
Oh my God.